Oh, not this music again. How did I get into this mess? That's far enough! You can't run forever. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Oh, we're back to this again, are we? What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this. But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence, fool! You are no longer worthy of your title. Smash, bang, boom, crash. I've had this dream before, someplace, some time ago. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today, I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. Not exactly what we were hoping for. Welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. Last time, we learned some big things. First of all, we learned that Matt is an unrighteous douchebag that needs to die. Can we just agree that he needs to die? Not going to die in the game, but if he needs to die, he should be the one that got shot. Anyways, besides him, we learned some more about Ms. Andrews, how her revenge story went, and about how Juan and Matt were fighting over women, as it were, or fighting with each other and using the women in between. It's kind of fucked up. Anyways, let's get to the trial already. I'm pretty hyped to get to this trial. I want to see how it all goes down, because you know some crazy twist is going to happen. Because at this point, we're trying to get Matt declared guilty or innocent because we won't want Maya to die, but something tells me something will intervene. But we shall see. Who's calling? Hello? This is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so... Oh. You don't look so... whose voice did I use here? You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right, bro? Fuck you, buddy. Oh, here comes the douchebag voice again. If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Ugh. Yes, I know. Now listen up, you better get Engarde a guilty sentence, okay? Get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you ever. Maya. Phoenix. Phoenix! There she is. Mia! Maya, how's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here, not anywhere. Pessimism is not good. Pessimism is not sexy, baby. Ah, it's that cursed Engarde again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Gumshoe, I'm really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team, and we're chasing after the killer, pal. Then you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not gonna give up. Gumshoe, until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're gonna do everything we can to find the killer. If we could get Maya out, then you could get Engarde the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you got, then you too can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're gonna give it all we've got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Well, that was pretty motivational. Hey, Phoenix? You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. Yeah! Friendship wins! Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. Alright, here we go then. Friends! How many of us have them? Friends. Ones we can depend on. Friends. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Engarde. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Ms. Adrienne Andrews' role in this murder. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrienne Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Engarde, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. Then you're saying that she's guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Ms. Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes, Juan Carita was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt Engarde. What a surprising turn of events. Indeed. I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. Especially with Phoenix involved. I know what's going on this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can. At least until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Me too. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. I'm just wondering what this is going to do to help us out, or hurt us. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Okay. I'm Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Sorry, but I'm just kind of a sort of nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. I didn't know that. But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Engarde's room. Okay, sure. Totally. Here we go. I did not know he went to visit Matt's room. Or at least if I did, I didn't know it was important. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. Oh, and he was talking to the butler dude. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. I watched two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Guess who those guests were? Might have been me. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony. And talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Engarde was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy. What are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Yawn! Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just gonna have to go charge in head first, right? I guess so. I mean, I was gonna press everything anyways, so let's just press the fuck out of him. Why any of this is important? I mean, I guess if somebody saw Matt with the butler and we can prove the butler was the killer, or butler slash bellboy, whatever. Anyways, let's start pressing shit. The defendant's room? Why did you go there? Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother, sort of, and I wanted to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright! What is it? You're gonna try to trick me into a corner, aren't you? Huh? I know I'm just a poor underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer. No one said you were, Mr. Powers. No, please, don't trick me! Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy. Every time? Witness, I will personally talk to the defense at a later time. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony. Sorry. So, you went to the defendant's room and then... Hey, wait a minute. When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? That was actually pretty funny. Entertaining indeed. Alright. Are you sure that was Matt Engarde? Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the nickel samurai mask then. If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken. And what was the defendant doing standing in front of his own room? He was talking to someone who heard that I was a bellboy. Okay. At first? What do you mean by that? Meaning like something else happened after that? Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform and he had a bottle of juice on a tray. Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me. Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? Oh god, I can't answer it for you. How am I supposed to know? Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry. Guess I'm gonna have to wait patiently on this one. It's okay, the longer it takes, the longer the trial goes, right? Press a mo. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip? But that's a perfectly normal thing to do. So how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. Yeah, but was the tip like a roll of $100 bajillion dollar bills? So who are these guests you're talking about? Oh god, come on, Phoenix, seriously? You guys, of course. You and Maya and that little Pearl. Thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway. This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further. Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night? I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. I ended up focusing on her. I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long. Okay. So now what? Okay, am I supposed to have something here? What the fuck am I supposed to have here? I was standing there in front of them. He was still talking. So at first I was the bellboy. I gave up, but then when I went up and gave up, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do I do from here? Alright, let me reread what he said about the one with the tip. Was the one with the tip the one where he's like, I didn't think it was a bellboy? No, this one. You saw the two of them, the bellboy, the defendant. Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats now while you're watching them. I think it was strange because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip? But that's a perfectly... So how long did you watch the two of them? Huh. I don't know. Maybe, okay. Wait. Let me press on the other one again and see what that one said again. He was the one first. Yeah, let me see what... He said there was something strange about the bellboy. Let me see if there was something in there. At first, what did you mean by that? I didn't think he was normal for bellboy. Why is that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a sec. Wait, what? Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated... you know, I didn't feel something weird, like, I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Oh! Talk about this. Oh, God, I hated this. I remember this back from the first Ace Attorney game where you had to, like, press things in the right order to be able to activate what you need to activate. Oh my god, those were nightmarish times. Anyways, could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he?
Perhaps we should let the witness tell us.
Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony.
You mean about the bellboy? Right. Alright, so now we're going to have something new to press on here. Matt gave the bellboy a tip. Press it. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was? But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket, and that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked.
I'm afraid I don't follow at all.
Sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. The tip, bro. What was so surprising about the tip? The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips. Wouldn't you agree? Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think. I think I had the right idea when I said he gave him a roll of $1 bajillion bills. A little too much? Would you please clarify for the court about how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess.
And why is that?
Because he gave the bellboy a really fat roll of cash. A roll of cash? I wish I was rolling in the cash.
Oh, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it?
A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Should we raise an objection? Yeah, let's do it, because if you wait, the trial might end right now. The defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typically fair for people like him. Oh, I see. We have to argue with Edgeworth to prolong the trial. I get it. Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work.
So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it?
Payment, Your Honor.
Dun dun dun. Payment?
Oh, you know. Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Juan Carita.
Then the bellboy the witness saw.
Yes, he was the assassin.
Dun 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 dun. Bah! Hold your horses now, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any proof of this, do you?
Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley the Killer left at the scene of the crime.
Shelley the Killer?
He is the person the police special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the Killer.
Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers?
No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out.
Oh?
Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. What?
Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir, right away. All right, he's all happy about it now that he's remembering things. Son of a beach. This time, I was in the hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. Oh, okay, bathroom time now. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Carita's room. You mean you even saw the dude come out of the room? Oh my god. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. Well, you can't say that, but you can at least say that he was definitely not normal. I mean... Thank you very much. That is all we need for now. Shut your goddamn mouth. Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more. Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see.
So the bellboy came out of the victim's room, and if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious.
That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Ha, 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 ha. This is no laughing matter. You damn right it's not. Just press this bitch. Here we go. Pressing it, pressing it, press it, pressing it, pressing it. What? I don't really need to know about his bathroom trip, but we're pressing everything. We got to prolong the trial, remember? And what time was it? Well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And when I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that, and then I came back, and then I went to the bathroom. So I guess maybe it was around 8:10 by that time.
You're not one for details, are you, Mr. Powers?
Sorry. Thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats. Yeah. And that's when you saw the bellboy coming out that room, though. Are you sure it was the same bellboy? Yeah. And how could you tell? All the bellboys wear the same uniform after all. But, you see, well, he had those stitches in his face. Got it. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt. So which room did the bellboy come out of? Of course, he was in the room Mr. Creed's room. The victim's room, huh? Yeah, one with all the really pretty flowers and teddy bears. It was Juan's room, all right. Words cannot describe how screwed I am. Huh. Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place. Press it. So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's gonna say next? Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Oh, out of place like he went in there with nothing to show for it. I get it. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you?
I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers.
But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide or pull a fast one? Well, we have to let this prolong as much as we can. Let's pull a fast one. There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy, even though there is. But there really, really is. There really, really isn't. And Edgeworth is going to be like, come on now. If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed, ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth, are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious?
I see. Very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please.
Yes, sir. All right. We got something new to press on. All right. Press it. So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed? Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand. And there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it. Juice? What kind of juice was it? I'm pretty sure it was a tomato juice. If we can come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come out empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record. Dude, I already know. Let me go ahead and press this last one, and I already know what to present. Because he went in there with a wine glass and a bottle of wine, and he came out without it. I already understand what happened there. Please don't be so quick to judge. But it's kind of a Powers family thing. Think of every person as a thief. Well, I guess a thief and an assassin are both sneaky and silent. That's not the point, Phoenix. In any case, if that bellboy was the assassin, it would be very bad for us. But he really is the assassin, you know. Yes, but you can't give in yet. If you want to prolong this trial for as long as possible, you're going to have to pull some cheap tricks on this one. Fair enough. Alright, so let's go back to that one about the wine. Yeah. So, court record. Present. Do we have the wine or do we have only the wine glass? We have only the wine glass. So let's just do the wine glass and assume that that's good.
Objection!
Yes! Oh my god, I'm a genius. Mr. Powers! Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But it really, isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and, So, a baseball has stitches, and so do bitches. Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Suspicious because of stitches? Because I got tons of bitches who need stitches, and on some of them that actually have them. Oh, well, there's also, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is
the crime scene.
There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kurita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice. And I called it wine. I meant to say tomato juice. You guys know what I meant. I said wine just because it was a wine glass. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left.
Ah, but that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room.
True. Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at that time?
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes. I blame you for leading me down this route. I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us?
Is there?
The bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say, empty-hand-ed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
What?
That bellboy, he was wearing gloves.
Oh, snap. Wearing gloves.
Yeah, pitch black, leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right?
Black leather
gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? So sorry, slipped my mind.
Boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves.
Come on, Mr. Wright. That bellboy was wearing black leather ones.
So, a football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather? This is the dumbest defense I've ever seen in my life.
But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant, and then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy.
Oh god, the judge is already on his side. It seems we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest?
Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay.
Alright, so we got more. We're not done here, but somehow I kind of figured that all of this Powers bullshit was going to just be so we had more information. Because he's not really condemning anybody. Well, except for maybe our own defendant, Mr. Engarde.
After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat.
Okay, fair enough.
So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room? Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident.
Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven.
I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we, Mr. Wright? Your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Time to press some more bullshits. More, and more bullshits. Alright, here we go. Press everything. Is that what you saw while you were busy spying?
Excuse me! I may be a poor, underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying. Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all of this from, Mr. Powers? Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye, in a sort of sneaky spy-like.
I knew he was spying. Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know.
He gave something to the person inside the room.
Oh wait, sorry. Why am I reading? I gotta press this fool. I said, hold it, fool.
Okay.
That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details.
Oh, okay.
Huh. I should probably ask him only one question at the time. Should we ask about the person or the something? What did he hand the person? Because seeing the person doesn't matter. Or I should say, not seeing the person, but Powers probably couldn't see the person. But he could definitely see this something. He gave something to this person?
Yeah.
And what was this something?
If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I?
True.
But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers?
I think it was something kind of small. This is an incredible, crucial piece of information. Please try to remember what it was. We can sit here all day to remember.
I'll try.
In the meantime, let's talk of another point, namely, what the bellboy did next.
Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing,
and the old guy left. Where did this bellboy go after he left Mr. Engarde's room?
He opened the door to Viola Hall, went in there, and who knows after that, right?
Huh, I do. He was busy kidnapping Maya. No one cares about the bathroom part, but press it anyways. Might be something entertaining in there. Did you see anything strange, suspicious, or just out of the ordinary at that time?
Oh yeah, saw that one thing.
What? You saw something else?
There was this jittery alien with a ray gun. He was watching Juan's door like some sort of stalker.
Oh, it's a goddamn old bag. I think we can forget about the alien. Well, Mr. Powers' testimony just now was just as vague as first. It's a little troublesome, isn't it? But I'm sure if you press him enough, everything will become clear. Although, that just makes it harder on us, doesn't it? Ugh, talk about a lose-lose situation. So does that mean I have to press a bunch of more shit? Or, wait, he didn't amend his testimony or anything? Let's, see if we can actually... Maybe we can actually press this again and ask more of the answers. Maybe he can give us some more information based on that. So let's go ahead and see if we can ask him that question again. It looks like I can. So let's ask him about the person this time. So who took this something the bellboy handed off?
Actually, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm?
Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face?
Yeah.
I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm.
Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is this all this really that important?
Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client.
Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was no. If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir.
Great. Fucking great. Now what? Oh. This is a new statement that we can press. I think it was some sort of wooden statue. That's different. A statue?
Yeah, it kind of looked like one, I guess. It kind of looked like one, I guess. If I saw the actual thing again, I'd probably remember, you know?
Looks like for this trial to proceed, I'm going to have to come up with whatever this statue thing is and show it to him. You're going to have to trust your instinct on this one and take a chance, Phoenix.
Well, Mr. Powers, let's continue your testimony. What did the bellboy do after that?
Okay. So do I have a wooden statue in my court record? Wait, is this made of wood? A wooden bear-shaped figurine! Oh my god! It didn't even occur to me that... Well, I haven't actually looked at the description of this thing. It just said this little bear. I thought it was like a stuffed bear, but now it makes sense. It's a goddamn wooden bear. Son of a beach. What was the point of that pregnant pause? Pregnant pause?
Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up.
It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw, was it this item?
Oh, hey, that's it. What? That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out.
I recall we found this at Mr. Matt Engarde's mansion.
At the defendant's house?
Indeed we did. That is where we found it.
What does this mean?
It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated Juan Carita in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime.
Then the bear being found at Mr. Engarde's mansion would mean?
It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Engarde is the killer's client. Oh god, he's just gonna immediately infer that, huh? Prove it!
Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yep. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. Oh, I almost forgot that he knew about it too. I didn't forget.
I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial.
I can't let this happen. I have to do something to prolong it. Has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright. What questionable point would you like to explore further?
I didn't know I could save it, but I'm going to now because we needs to. We don't need this to backfire. So what do we need to explore further? His testimony, the person who received the bear, or the bear itself? I'm going to go with the person who received the bear because we really are giving up on that. There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. Maybe you can tell us what the arm looked like? Was it the arm of the samurai? You gave something to the person inside the room? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was who took the bear, we can't be sure of... Oh! Uh-oh, did he remember?
What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What?
Really?
I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm? It was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear. You've gotta be kidding me! Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai, which means it was actually Adrian Andrews dressed up as the Nickel Samurai. Makes sense.
Order, order! It looks like you've dug your own grave yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt Engarde is the Nickel Samurai. No, we know that Adrian Andrews dressed up as the Nickel Samurai, thank you very much.
Thanks to the defense, we've made that all the clearer.
What am I supposed to do now? Mia, help! You don't have time to act lost. We've got to find another angle to attack this from. Hurry! Great, thanks.
Now, I will bring this cross-examination to a... Oh,
We're holding it again. Your Honor,
Again, Mr. Wright? We've already removed any and all questionable areas of this testimony.
It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright. I have to find something. Even one more little point will do. There are still questions left unanswered. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further?
All right, the testimony now or the bear? Let me just go with the bear and see what happens. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable.
The bear, Mr. Wright?
This was found at Mr. Engarde's mansion. However, Mr. Engarde was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home, which means how did the bear get back to his house?
Oh?
I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Engarde who took this bear to his mansion. Booyaka, biatch!
Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Disaster averted it. Ah, God damn it, Edgeworth. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Engarde's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. It's not Butter. That butler at all this time he was the killer. The killer and Engarde were working together, so to speak.
And the killer was hired Engarde's mansion
as its butler.
What a bold move.
The bear figurine was brought back to Engarde mansion by the killer himself. Then why did he hand it to the Steel Samurai before that? Or Nickel Samurai, rather. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Engarde had him to do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. True. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all?
I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Engarde.
Uh-oh.
I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth. Any last
objections, Mr. Wright?
Well, do I? What should I do? I can't just hear the verdict. We're going to lose. We got to raise an objection.
I will now demonstrate.
There's only one way for me to drag this trial out any longer. The only thing I have left is my one dirty trick. What? Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is a client of the assassin. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at the Engarde mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person.
What are you saying?
What am I saying? What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. Ooh, interesting thought. At least to get it to prolong it.
The real client?
Yes. Tisk tisk. Is this all you have?
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the real client of the killer, and therefore the real murderer?
Are we going to say it's Adrian Andrews? Or are we going to say it's somebody else? Who else could it be? Honestly, who the fuck else could it be? I'm just going to say we think it's Andrews because she's the one wearing the Nickel Samurai costume at that moment. And therefore, he handed it to her. So, I mean, from what we know so far, Adrian Andrews is implicated. Take that! Yes, I got it right.
Adrian Andrews?
Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt Engarde for the crime. But wearing a spare Nickel Samurai costume.
Ah! Then the Nickel Samurai's arm that I saw?
That could have very well been Ms. Andrews. We don't have any proof, bitch.
But what about Mr. Engarde?
If you would please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period.
That's right. Then finding this figure at Mr. Engarde's mansion?
It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Fair enough. Could be. Could be.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is your point on this?
I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. Any possibility should be considered. What is this with trial? Come on, anyone can tell Engarde did it. I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt on someone else. Man, the crowd is turning on us. Unbelievable, it's not something pretty. It's murder of all things. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this one fight I can't give up on. Fuck the crowd.
All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom.
Your Honor. For the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game.
His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. What does that mean? Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did especially bring that bear to Engarde right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews.
And who would that be?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. Ms. Adrian Andrews herself. Oh, we're bringing her back on the stand? Lame.
I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, great. This is going to be just A-okay with me.